there's understandably a lot of confusion around AI and ML. What can they do and what that means for people working in industry? As powerful and paradigm shifting as these technologies can be, I think it's important to look at them as supplemental tools to help industry folks rather than autonomous miracle solutions. In that spirit, I'm going to ask the panelists to briefly define AI and ML for the audience so that we're all starting with the same working definition, and maybe they could tell us what AI and ML are, what they could do right now. So Dean, you're on my screen right now. Would you mind starting us off and briefly defining how you look at AI and ML?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I would put AI as a simple analytical tool to predict, enhance, and facilitate quality outcome of a given process, whether it's a biomanufacturing or any manufacturing per se. And ML is more like a subset of AI. With data given, you get decision making based on the data provided. So that's a simple information on the AI aspect.
Thank you. Tinglong, would you mind providing a definition? How you look at AI and ML?
Yeah. So first of all, you probably by now you have already heard thousands of definitions of AI. But AI, artificial intelligence, to me, is simulation of human intelligence by using machines. Machines, essentially, you create machines that are capable of learning, perception, and cognition. What do I mean? So think about how babies, right? I think of babies as artificial intelligence, right? They start from scratch, learn a lot of things. They get smarter and smarter over time. They observe adults and imitate. So that's learning. They learn to see things better, hear things better, say things better. That's perception. And then they become better and better decision makers. At a certain point, they start make their own decisions, become autonomous agents. So that's cognition. I think that's the essence of AI. So then machine learning is really just one of the many approaches to AI, right? You can tell machines what to do. That's different kind of AI, but machine learning is one small subset of AI that basically allow machines to learn from data, from observations, and getting better and better, just like babies learn by observations. Tyler, I don't think. Thank you. I don't think I can hear Tyler, and so I can key.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Tugce, would you mind jumping in on this conversation too about defining AI and ML?
Definitely. Actually, I really like the analogy to children, like babies learning over time. I think that's very well put. So I will just see AI as a broad field, and it helps us build prediction models, but also optimization models. And it can help us with better quality control, automation, especially in biomanufacturing. So it has predictive, prescriptive nature. And as Dean also mentioned, ML is a sub field of AI. So AI is broader in that sense.
Great. Thank you all. And Tugce, you can go first since you're on my screen, but how are we seeing AI and ML being used right now in biomanufacturing, whether it's robotic process automation technologies or in process analytics technologies?
Yeah, this is actually my passion. So I have been working on AI applications in biomanufacturing for several years since my PhD. And there's so much to do at process level, but also at factory level. I think, for example, take fermentation at process level. Then AI can help you define the golden profile, like the ideal profile for the whole process. And if the process deviates from the golden profile, it can also tell you how to bring it back to the golden profile. So it helps with optimum control, optimum learning. So it's at process level. But also at factory level, it can help with better planning, better scheduling, better inventory control. So overall, I would say cost efficiency, robustness, automation, they are all possible with AI technologies.
Great, thank you, Tugce. Dean, would you like to speak to how you see AI and ML being used in biomanufacturing, or how it's changed biomanufacturing since you've entered the industry?
Absolutely. It's an exciting period, to be honest. Biomanufacturing traditionally, it's a three-way step from early stage concept development, R&D, drug discovery, and scaling up. Currently, AI is pretty much already penetrated into the drug discovery phase. It's been heavily used in some of the R&D sites, at least at the chemistry level, because of some complex behavior of the biological system still to be understood and learned. But on the other hand, at the industrial level, there is already some amount of integration into the equipment monitoring for more predictive maintenance. Big pharmas are already utilizing AI and ML, which is integrated into the more of equipment maintenance and predictions. But I think AI is going to heavily impact in several industries for sure. Biomanufacturing it's coming, but it's going to take a while before it's going to be validated, tested again and again strongly.
Yeah. Thank you, Dane. And Tinglong, I wanted to ask you this question, given your experience with the Johns Hopkins work group for AI in healthcare. As these technologies become more popular and more adopted, I'm curious, in your opinion, how should people approach working with this technology, and how can they best work with it? And also on the other side of that coin, how is this technology changing kind of requirements for the workplace?
That's excellent.
How's it changing the market?
By technology, I presume you mean AI, right? Because there are a variety. So modern medicine is, modern medicine has been driven by technologies. But AI, I would argue, is different from many other technologies in that it's not well understood by most people. Most of AI devices, they're building on models that even the model creators, even people who actually build these AI models, they have a difficulty make sense of these models. There's a reason it's called black box models. Just like we have a difficulty understanding why our brains function the way they do. So that nature is very important. Just like so that the way we approach technology, I like to phrase I like to use is that the way adopting AI is like adopting a child. Again, a child analogy, and it's you can adopt many different parenting philosophy. It can be hands-on, it can be hands-off. But the point is that you need to take care of technology, take care of its growth, monitor it, and being careful. There isn't really anything like so-called autonomous AI. As long as it's a child, it's not really fully autonomous. So it's really about whether you give more power to the designer or to the user. We have to be careful. The other aspect about using AI in healthcare is that we have to be very careful about the distinction between high stakes versus low stakes tasks. People like to say, well, we should use AI to automate all the low stakes tasks, such as documentation. I would argue that documentation is very, very, it is a low stakes task for sure. It doesn't kill anyone, but it could have, you could have ripple effects across entire system if you have errors that are left uncorrected. So to a certain extent, we have to, so even though it is low stakes per se, it will have a lot of ripple effects, and it's hard to evaluate the quality of these AI systems. So there are two things. One is about if it's really high stakes versus low stakes. The other thing is it easier to evaluate? We have to be careful in making that distinction.
Yeah, thank you, Tinglong. And I have one more question for all of you before we move on. You know, I don't think anyone expects the entire biomanufacturing process to be automated, start to finish. So at least right now, where can AI and ML not be applied? You know, what parts of the process for now will have to stay manual, and in the foreseeable future, will continue to rely purely on human governance? Dean, do you want to go?
Absolutely. Yeah, you rightly put out, you know, AI for sure, it's inevitable in most of the space, including biomanufacturing. But there are still some areas where technologies may not be applicable, and mostly the manual process is going to remain essential in most of it situations. So one specifically, if you say complex decision making with ethical implications, right? So AI can analyze data and make recommendations, but the decisions eventually falls specifically with regard to ethical consideration, like, you know, patient safety, regulatory compliance, and environmental impact. Human intervention is pretty crucial. And another key aspect is creative problem solving, right? It can assist in R&D, but creative aspects of innovation, like, you know, designing experiments or generating real original idea, it's again, human intuition is very, very crucial. And it can support, AI can for sure support in R&D, but it cannot replace human driving the innovation, right? And some of the other aspects is, like, as I mentioned, already AI is integrated into some of the predictive maintenance of the equipments, right? But nevertheless, the actual maintenance and repair of these equipments, large-scale equipments, totally require manual interventions. And highly skilled technicians are never going to be going away because manufacturing is there, equipment's highly skilled labor is going to always be there as part of the biomanufacturing or any manufacturing industry.
Thank you, Dean. Anyone want to add on to that before we move on?
I think Tugce can provide a more specific perspective into the biomanufacturing sector, but the way I look at it is that the industry is already highly automated. But a lot of effort, a lot of manual effort, a lot of attention, a lot of care is needed to ensure quality, ensure compliance, ensure safety. I think that part, you know, that attention, that care, that human oversight, that, you know, detective skill, that ability to connect dots, that expertise is not going to be replaced by AI anytime soon. Because the paradoxical aspect is that people who can benefit from AI most are people who do not need AI in the first place, right? So the experts who could use AI reliably and safely because they could call it out if AI makes blatant mistakes, right? You think about all the documentations, right now all the documentation process, not just in biomanufacturing, I would argue across entire manufacturing sector, is highly automated. We already see a lot of mistakes. In the future, we're going to see the use of Gen AI is going to create even more documentations, complete nonsense, complete misinformation, completely wrong facts, and they're going to carry it over, hard to correct. I think that's where we actually, you're going to need more subject matter expertise that is not going to be replaced by AI anytime soon.